everyone, it's Cindy. Welcome back to Studioloo. I have a little journal flip through for you today of my latest traveler's notebook. This is another in the series of summer flea market style traveler's notebooks. Think all things, summery and fun, art galleries and going into nature and flea markets and antique shops and that kind of thing. These are ephemera stuffed, and they have a lot of authentic vintage stuff as well as handmade ephemera. So let's get started. The closure for this one is with two of these beautiful yellow gingham cotton ribbons that you can just wrap around as you like and tie at the front. They are stitched right into the journal. The cover of the journal is made from a collaged masterboard that I made that's all different botanicals and bits and bobs. You see a stamp here, a mushroom, a butterfly. This says thousands of words a day. This is some 1950s authentic ledger that I got in an estate auction. On the front, I've stitched this lace patchwork pocket, and inside of it we have this tag. This is like a hard chipboard tag, and it has little bits of very old early 1800s book page just collaged on it, and this beautiful piece of doily on the front. So it just gives a really nice kind of feel to the front of the journal, and obviously you can write on the back. So that just tucks in there as so. So when we flip it open here, we have a patchwork pocket up top, and the entire journal is lined with this beautiful blue botanical fabric. Then this is actually a really cool embossed old file folder. This was, I got this in like an old vintage record, like 45s case with 45s, and these were in between, and so I don't know what caused this indenting, but it's really fun. So I just inked them up and added these little vintage candy stickers at the bottom. So those just pop, that just pops right in here. Then on this side we have some more of that very old book, making a little tuck spot on a botanical page for this large journal card with this fairy girl just reading a book. It says, "The wind's song, like a sigh, whispered through the spring lace of the birch trees." And it has this nice shiny aqua paper on back, so that just tucks right in here. And then we have an authentic, oopsies. Knocking this out of the pocket there. This authentic piece of ephemera is this lovely couple. This is a 70s photograph taken at Niagara Falls, I believe. And yeah, they're really sweet, and he's like holding her purse, I think. They're so cute, right? And this is a journal tag. It's nice and shiny and pretty, and it has an apple tree with these beautiful robins in it. Then some lovely botanical paper with daffodils. It's been coffee dyed. And then more botanical paper with a little vintage button and fabric collage at the bottom. Some washi tape. And this beautiful bee. And here we have a collaged pocket, and then this air balloon with some nice paper on back for writing space on this journal card. This is one of my jelly prints. And then a vintage brass paper, and that's a rusty paper clip holding this fun postcard of all these people swimming. Again, summer, good summery vibes in these journals. And then some sparkly fabric collage on some vintage ledger paper. Coffee dyed dots. And then this piece of paper is a digital that I made from a scanned silk scarf, a vintage one. And then there's a couple vintage pieces of ephemera here. These are really fun. So this is a vintage CB card for Baby Moose. And this is a children's Bernstein Bears book library reference card. So both of those just pop in this paper clip up here. And then we have a fabric pocket. This is made from a vintage tea towel with these beautiful roses. This is coffee dyed paper, and we have this fairy kind of in a fall forest journal card. Late summer kind of vibe. And then this is just some nice writing paper. And paper clipped on here with a rusty paper clip is this large journal card made from a vintage book about birds. And on this side we have a vintage brass paper clip holding a couple pieces of ephemera on this fun digital here with some pink fabric stitched to the top. And this is like maybe a wedding. Yeah, I think it's a wedding. This is an old family photo. On back, yeah, wedding right here. Elsie White and hubby. Bride and Betty, Jesse, and something George White. It's a little hard to read. It's something and something to but senior. I don't know. It's very old writing, so it's a little bit hard to read. Mr. and Mrs. Maybe LV. Oh no, Mr. and Mrs. White Senior. And this is a journal card made from vintage images of birthday greeting cards. Sometimes it's very hard to read old writing. People had very beautiful penmanship back then, but also it was very swirly and whirly, and so you weren't sure exactly what they were writing some of the time. This is coffee dyed paper, and then this is a little pocket with some of that vintage fabric from the tea towel, and some mushrooms and a little fairy, and then this journal tag inside. Coffee dyed paper, and then this is from a vintage garden book. It's illustrations of building garden boxes, some washi tape, and then this is a tag, a collage tag with some of the vintage, this is vintage tea towel as well, and then a poem here called Song of Summer, and that just clips on here. And then we have this stitched on lace pocket, and that's more of the vintage garden book. And then we have an old bridge score sheet, and I love these because there's bridges on them, and it says we and they. It's a score, honors and points scorecard. And then this is another CB card, Andy Gump and Mountain Mouth, and it's all written on back. Very fun old ephemera. And then paper clipped on here, this is from a used book from 1941 from a library card. So Wendell Holmes Lending Library Service, and see all of these stamps of when the book was taken out in 1941. And then this beautiful kind of Parisian collage ledger paper at back. And this is kind of some dyed paper, my experimental dyed paper. And then this pocket is a collage with some lace and this beautiful flower on some tea dyed scrapbook batik paper. And then this is another field guide book book page with this lovely little tag at the bottom. So it's a big large journaling card. This is a lace belly band, and it has a botanical sample tag inside of it and some beautiful birds at back. There's little fine green flowers in this lace that are really sweet. And then the stitching from the pocket, I added a couple little fun things. It says early memories in the window of an antique shop. And then this is more botanical paper and some music down here and some washi tape. This is a paper sack with these little flowers, and it says in a mysterious room in a mysterious house. And inside we have this journal card of some vintage pottery. And on the back it says wander off by herself into the deep forest. And that just tucks in there. And then on the inside of this paper sack, I've made a double kind of belly, or not pocket, lace pocket rather. And inside we have some white embossed floral paper. It's linen paper. And then this little, this is a spatial relation picture card. These are developmental learning materials cards, and I just covered them with like beautiful old papers. And then on this side we have, this is from a magazine page. It's this beautiful picture of these speckled eggs from an art magazine, and on back this is vintage paper, page 23 of an old book from the 1800s. And then in here we have a little slide-in tag with botanicals, so that just slides into the side of this little paper sack here. Oops. There we go. And then on this side we have this vintage deer and flower sculpture and some roses and some music. And then this is marine blue and orange bob butterflies. And inside we have this pocket made from jelly printing and these beautiful flowers and a little label. It says, "Attics are good places for dreaming." And then we have some music up top, tea-stained paper, and a botanical sample card tag. And then more beautiful botanicals and some more stitching here. And this says chapter 11, and in the forest among the tall spruces. And there is a lace tab here as part of this belly band. Botanical tea-stained paper. And this is a tag that I made from a 1980 vintage tea towel. So that's linen fabric. This is tea-stained paper with a little fabric and vintage button collage. Batik paper, and this is more of my experimental dyed paper with flowers and tea. And then this is a collage pocket with a little bird there, and there is some vintage ledger behind it. And then this is a tag. It says "No moon to spoil the effect," and it has orchids on it. And this is more of the vintage garden book. This is all like wood framing and garden illustration. And then there's a little cotton fabric tab on the side. And then we have an upper tuck pocket with some lace. And inside is this little collaged journal card that says "Merrily across the treetops to the beaver pond." And it has a little acorn. And there's some green fabric tab at the top. And this just tucks right on in here. And a little fairy looking up at some persimmon. And this is a little tuck pocket. And inside a collage journal card. It says "Passionately fond of music." Tea-stained botanical paper with a little bird down here. This is a vintage playing card. And this is more botanical paper and behind. And then this is "Heard in the Forest" and has these two little mushroom head people that I love. And it's a little journal card. It just tucks into this little, it's kind of like a upper tuck kind of how it's been attached. Then just a little scraplet of jelly print on botanical paper. This is a pocket made from vintage rose tea towel. And this is tea-dyed paper. And inside we have a few things. So the first thing is authentic ephemera, and it's from the Toronto Calendar magazine, October 30th, 1969. It was a letter to Mrs. E. Ailman from Richard Ballantyne, the publisher, and she won, she's a winner in a puzzle contest, so she got a copy of The Grim Reaper by Ed Reed as her prize. So that's a nice piece of old paper. And then this is mushroom paper, and this little hen, it's just so cute, and it's on some nice cottony old book page. And this is a digital scan of a vintage silk scarf. And I just realized that this actually doesn't go in here. It goes over here, and I put it in the wrong spot. There we go. Then this is a collage tag. And it's in this, it's on coffee dyed dotted paper. And then this is a pocket that I made from some weaving and organza. And then we have this collage bird tag. And it's on top of some Parisian ledger and a jelly print. And we have a fabric corduroy and silk tab on the side, and this beautiful tree. Another fun fabric tab on this amazing botanical paper. And at the end here, this is some tea-dyed paper. We have this large envelope botanical paper in behind, and this is paper clipped on. So there's this large envelope. It says "Mysterious Writing," and then there's a little tag here at the back, some florals. The inside is jelly printed, and we have a large journal card inside, and this is an image from a Release the Craftin' Winter kit, and I thought it was kind of a fun way to end the journal, sort of like a salute to the end of summer and cooler weather ahead. So that just clips on here. And then we have this, this is actually an old photo of a girl on a horse. It's from probably the 40s. I want to say probably this was part of the 1947 collection of postcards that I got, photo postcards. And then this little mushroom girl and this watercolor painting. That's a journal card that just tucks on in there, and a piece of botanical paper. And then at the back we have some of my iron printed fabric, making a little bureau pocket, and this altered playing card with a fairy, and on back it says grew on a thistle and has a little frame around it. So that is the end of this journal, and the whole thing just tucks together like so. And then you can wrap this however you like. I typically go the opposite direction with both, and then tie it up closed, and it's ready to go on a travel with you. So thank you so much for tuning in. If you're seeing this video, this journal is up in my Etsy shop. I'm Studioloo on Etsy. You can find all of my links to social media and my shop down below in the description box. I hope you have a wonderful day, and thank you for hanging out. Take care. Bye for now.